Hello everybody, NIO Life here again. So this video is slightly off topic, but it's gonna be interesting for you guys, trust me. At the end of the day, every single one of my videos is gonna come back to NIO and lifestyle and why I believe NIO is the ultimate brand, and also why I believe NIO should focus its financial extension more into Southeast Asia instead of here in Europe. This is just an idea. This is also good for people from NIO's management to watch. So, one reason I came back here to Cologne, my first city where I live in Germany, was because I want to evaluate unbiased, underground, what the economic condition is like here in Germany, and if it makes sense for a company like NIO to extend its financial commitment to the European market or to other markets, because as a startup, it's actually just a startup. As a startup, you do not have the financial resources to commit yourself to the whole world. Of course, ideally one day everyone in the world can go to a swap station, change the batteries 20 kilometers away from your home, maximum around the world. Ideally, someone like me can drive around the world in a NIO, swap the batteries from Antarctica to Newfoundland and wherever. So basically, what I'm saying is, before you can conquer the world, you have to select the market properly. And here's my way to evaluate which market I personally should commit myself to, not in case of investment, but in case of my time. So I have here four real estates. This is all real cases. And people who help me to evaluate those real estates will recognize those. So these two are in Thailand, in Hua Hin, and these two are here in Cologne. So let me start with these two. These are two penthouses and amazing properties. And here's roughly the information: area, space, how many rooms, and so on and so forth. The level on which it is located. I did a very quick conversion from Euro into Thai baht. So this apartment on the rooftop cost 52 million Thai baht, almost 53 million Thai baht. This one cost 56.5 million Thai baht. Keep that in mind. And here we have houses in Thailand. Let me just showcase how they look like. Real houses, good, pretty cool houses with nice space and everything. About 10-15 minutes away from the beach. And the selling price, and in Thailand you can't own the land, so the land is a leasehold. You own the house, but you don't get to own the land. This is also the reason why I went for this kind of property, because theoretically you don't really own much of the land either. You only get a small fraction of the ownership of the land. You don't get to choose what to do with the land and so on. So, do we have prices? Yeah, we have prices. So we have those houses going between 11 million to 15-16 million Thai baht. Yeah, and this is the developer's original paper, and this shows you the flag of the buyers. And the developer is also speaking German. That's the reason some of the wording are in German. 13 million, 15 million. Yeah, this is a pretty good quality project. You guys can see the pictures. This one is slightly cheaper. Also in Hua Hin, they sell the houses together with the lease of the land. And this looks like that. Those standalone houses, prices around 12-14 million Thai baht. So what I'm trying to do here is making a final evaluation and decision where in the long term I commit myself physically to, European or Southeast Asia. And someone like me, ultimately, after looking at every possible aspects, I decided for my lifestyle choices, for my personal decisions, I will be in Southeast Asia, particularly Thailand as my base. However, this is not just for me the decision. When I was in Thailand the last 4 weeks, I observed an unmistakable trend that all the white Europeans are starting to migrate over to that same location I have chosen, which is Hua Hin, south of Bangkok. And why do they do that? Because number one, they want a different scenery, but more important, cost of living here in Europe is insane, truly insane. And so high that I believe even considering the price of NIO cars are pretty high, in reality, the profit margin is not that high. I don't believe NIO is making any profits at all, even on vehicle margin. I don't believe there is a positive vehicle margin on any of the NIO cars currently sold, because the taxation, because the tariffs and all the things. So it is an uphill battle against the brand awareness, plus the profit margin is ultra low, plus the cost of operating is very, very high compared to countries like Thailand, where you have low operating cost, big market, and people are not biased against Chinese cars. In fact, Thai people love Chinese cars. A lot of Chinese companies started the manufacturing process in Thailand as well. Who knows, maybe NIO would one day start or evaluate to start a manufacturing base in Thailand for the Southeast Asian countries. NIO so far does not have any products for the other side of driving yet. So it's actually quite an important decision for the management too. But I want to use this as an opportunity to demonstrate to you guys that in the long term, the power is shifting towards the east. When the power shifts towards the east, the consumers will shift towards the east, and the purchasing power will shift towards the east. As supplier of products and services who are catering to the top end, in case of NIO, you have to observe where the top 1% of the people in the world are living, because people of the top 1%, they have choices. They are not stuck, unlike many of the people on the bottom. They are not stuck. Like in my case, I could go to most countries in the world. I got enough access, financially speaking and visa-wise. So there's a freedom of choice for people in the top end. And if you produce products for the top end, you have to follow your clients. So from my perspective, I want people who work for NIO think twice about where do you want to build your charging stations. Right now, it looks like it makes sense to build in Europe because the consumption rate is higher than in Southeast Asia. However, remember, the top 1% of people in Southeast Asia is a bigger number than the top 1% of people in Europe. So in absolute number term, actually your addressable market might even be bigger in Thailand than here in Europe. This is something I would like the people from NIO to consider and evaluate for your long-term strategy. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.